The sprawling bungalow in the heart of Lucknow was a fortress, and its two queens, Shanti Devi and her daughter-in-law, Ananya, were locked in a silent, unrelenting Cold War. It had been 3 years since Ananya had married Shanti Devi's son, Vikram, and the truce was still nowhere in sight. Shanti Devi, a woman of impeccable grace and formidable will, ran her household with the precision of a seasoned general. Her saris were always perfectly starched, her home immaculately clean, and her traditions unyielding. For her, the world was a tapestry of ancient customs and rituals, and her role was to be its vigilant protector. Ananya, on the other hand, was a whirlwind of modernity. A software engineer from Bangalore, she was accustomed to a life of independence and easygoing pragmatism. She believed in efficiency, open communication, and the joy of a good pizza on a Friday night. Her vibrant personality was a stark contrast to the quiet, dignified rhythm of Shanti Devi's life. The war began with small skirmishes. Ananya would innocently suggest using a dishwasher to save time, only to be met with Shanti Devi's raised eyebrow and a cryptic comment about the sanctity of hand-washed vessels. Ananya's penchant for wearing jeans around the house was countered by Shanti Devi's pointed reminders about respectful attire for a married woman. The most significant battleground, however, was the kitchen. Shanti Devi was a culinary artist, her recipes passed down through generations. She cooked with a love that transcended ingredients. Ananya, a competent but less passionate cook, often relied on online recipes and pre-made spice mixes. "My mother used to grind her own spices for this," Shanti Devi would sigh dramatically, making Ananya feel like a culinary fraud. Vikram, caught in the crossfire, tried his best to be a peacemaker, but his attempts often backfired. A compliment to his wife's cooking would be met with his mother's silent, wounded look. A request for his mother to ease up would earn him a lecture on a son's duty. He was a neutral country, constantly trying to broker peace while both superpowers built up their arsenals. The tension escalated when Vikram and Ananya announced they were planning a trip to Italy. "Italy?" Shanti Devi scoffed. "Why waste money on foreign lands when there are so many beautiful temples to visit in India? We must perform the annual puja for your grandfather's anniversary." The puja was a sacred tradition, and Ananya knew it. She reluctantly agreed to postpone the trip. But the resentment festered. She felt her dreams were being sacrificed for a life she hadn't chosen. A few months later, Ananya's old colleague, a single mother named Ria, was visiting Lucknow. Ananya invited Ria and her son, Rohan, over for lunch. Shanti Devi was cordial but distant. She observed Ria with a critical eye, her disapproval of single motherhood palpable. Ria, a firecracker in her own right, quickly picked up on the tension. As they were leaving, Rohan, a mischievous 6-year-old, accidentally knocked over a precious heirloom vase. It shattered into 1,000 pieces. Ananya froze, her heart pounding. She braced herself for Shanti Devi's wrath. But instead of a scolding, Shanti Devi calmly knelt and began picking up the shards. "Don't worry," she said softly to a tearful Rohan. "It's just a vase. Are you okay?" Ria, surprised, thanked Shanti Devi profusely. The incident was a tiny crack in the ice that had formed between the two women. That evening, Ananya found Shanti Devi in the prayer room, her hands clasped, her eyes closed in deep concentration. Ananya stood silently for a moment before speaking. "I'm sorry about the vase, Ma." Shanti Devi opened her eyes and looked at Ananya. "It was just a thing, Beta. But what is not just a thing is a mother's heart." She paused. "Ria, she reminds me of myself. After my husband passed away, people looked at me with pity. It was a struggle to raise Vikram. I wanted to protect you from that life, from that struggle. I wanted you to have a perfect life, like the ones in the old stories." Ananya's eyes welled up. She had always seen Shanti Devi as a stern, unfeeling woman. She had never considered her vulnerability. "Ma, I understand. But my life is my own story to write. With you and Vikram, it can be a beautiful one." The next few months saw a subtle, yet profound, shift in the atmosphere of the bungalow. Ananya started spending more time in the kitchen, not to cook but to learn. Shanti Devi, in turn, began showing an interest in Ananya's world. She asked about Ananya's work and even learned to operate a smartphone to video call her own sister. The final act of the Cold War came during Diwali. Shanti Devi was overseeing the preparations, a task she had always done alone. This year, Ananya was by her side. They were making laddus, their hands sticky with jaggery and ghee. "Ma," Ananya said, "I have a small surprise for you." She handed her a small box. Inside was a ticket to Italy, for two. Shanti Devi looked at the ticket, then at Ananya, her eyes glistening. "But, the puja? We'll do it together, Ma," Ananya said, "right before we leave. We can make a trip out of it. We can go to the temple in the morning, and then catch our flight in the evening. There is time for both." Shanti Devi smiled, a genuine, heartwarming smile that crinkled the corners of her eyes. A mother's heart is a strange thing, Ananya. It wants to protect, to teach, and to love. I was so busy protecting the past, I forgot to embrace the future. Our future, together. That year, Diwali was different. The bungalow was not just a house, it was a home. The laughter of Shanti Devi and Ananya echoed through the halls, a symphony of two women who had finally found their rhythm. The Cold War had ended, not with a treaty or a surrender, but with a simple, honest conversation and the warmth of a shared laddu, a testament to the fact that even the fiercest of battles can be won with love, understanding, and the sweet taste of a new beginning.
From your screen to your heart, hit like and subscribe to our channel.